I apologize in advance due to the fact that there was some technical issues when recording this podcast. My voice seems to have been accelerated ahead of everybody else's conversations. So you will hear me at the wrong times, and it will tend to interfere with what people are saying. I'm sorry, but I cannot fix this. I will do a better job next week. Until then, try to enjoy this cast for what it's worth. Hello, and welcome to the Face-Off Circle. Today, I have with me Rain, one of the players from Minnesota, TF Extreme, one of the Detroit players, Go Styles, one of the Minnesota players, KingHockeyPuck, our esteemed commissioner, Bruins fan, the Minnesota owner, and Weigel, the AGM of the New York Islanders. Today we're going to be talking about what we think about the draft, what we're going to see in Season 2, as well as some of our Stanley Cup predictions. So we'll start with TF Extreme. What do you think?
Phoenix turned out pretty well. I like St. Louis. They drafted pretty well, drafted very balanced. Edmonton did pretty good. Colorado, basically all the teams did overall. They did pretty well. Chicago didn't get, I don't think they got enough, they got one goalie, unknown, who, he was decent, but I don't think he's gonna be a number one choice. He could turn out like a Fancoma type of player. No offense to Fancoma, but he was night and day. In the East, Toronto seemed to draft pretty well. Washington managed their cap situation pretty well, along with Montreal. New Jersey was actually balanced. I was kind of surprised because last season's draft, when Dugan drafted me offensively, actually picked up defense and goalies. Surprised. And that's about it.
Go Styles.
I think the draft went very well for some of the teams, but I was kind of wondering what some of the teams were thinking when they were going through the drafts. Like, for example, I think that Minnesota did pick up some pretty good players in the expansion draft by drafting Strudel and King. But one thing that caught my eye was the fact that Chicago actually picked up Diener and who's the guy, Ponerman, who were both right Ds in the expansion draft. We know they could have picked up a lefty and had very solid D pair. But overall, I think every team made out very well and it's going to be a very close season.
Well, I think that this draft went better than the first draft. The first draft had, we weren't prepared. It was the first time we were doing it. This one went a lot smoother. And some big surprises, I think, on who got picked first. John the Rouge, second overall. I didn't expect that. He is a solid defenseman, though. I don't think they'll be disappointed with that. And surprised all three commissioners went so quickly, too, in the first 3 rounds. I honestly didn't think that I'd get picked until, like, the 3rd or 4th round or 5th, like, of the regular draft. Hope I can live up to the expectations of my owner.
All right, Bruins fan?
You better. I feel that the draft went pretty well, all in all, but what did surprise me is the fact that there are a lot of teams that didn't spend much money. You look at it, let's see, Edmonton and Colorado, they both have over $20 million still left in cap space, and so do San Jose Sharks, which surprised me. But what really surprised me is that Caron fell so far in the draft to go first overall in the second round to Pittsburgh. That really surprised me. But all in all, I feel the draft went pretty well.
All right. I think the draft went really good for East and West because we got some deep pairings and we got some goalies going out first. I like how I didn't see so many forwards going out first because there's an abundance of forwards in this league. I like how, most teams kept under their cap space and they're doing good.
I think the draft went really well because, the previous person said that the teams are covering the defensive side more than the offensive side in the first few draft rounds.
All right. So,
now
that the draft is over,
well.
we can kind of get a look at what some of these teams are going to be like in the coming season. Granted, not everybody knows all of the rookies, so we have a little room for leniency as far as figuring out who's going to be a strong team, who's going to be a weak team. But in your opinions, who do you guys think are going to be strong teams, and who do you guys think are going to be weak teams? Start with Weigel this time.
All right. Well, the weak teams that I'm looking at right now, I'm looking at Philadelphia right now because I'm looking at how they did in the draft. They only have 2 D-men. on their draft team right now, and they picked up a whole bunch of forwards. I don't know how that's going to work out for them, because the defense is amazing in the draft right now. I don't know who else there is for you can pick up, and a strong team I'm looking at. I'd actually like to say Minnesota Wild, because they have good goalies that they're using. Bruins fan can hold his own in that. Niemi is just over the top. We got John LaRue, who's a great demon. KingHockeyPuck and Strudel, we all know what they can do this season and last season, because they were doing really good. They have Ghost Styles, who is a very good, I'd say, center. And then Halak. I've done club with this Halak.
All right,
He's really good, and he's got really good chemistry with these guys.
Strong and weak teams. I can tell you that the teams that did not do a lot of scouting didn't do that well in the draft. Teams that did a lot of scouting, like for example Pittsburgh, they were there almost every night. They looked at a lot of people. I think they did very well in the draft. But like Tampa, Philly, and I think Montreal, I'll have to say Vancouver too. I don't think that they drafted as wisely as they could have. Weren't as prepared as they could have been. And then what it really comes down to is, how many players do you know in the league? If you didn't know the abilities of at least 100 people in the league before the draft, you probably were guessing more than other teams.
Cut off or actually done? Styles.
As for strong teams and weak teams, I think that two teams are going to be a bit weaker to start the season, but they can improve over time. Would probably be Edmonton and Colorado. Just by looking at their draft roster, and after some of the free agent biddings, they both have at least $23 million left that they could have spent. So it looks like they picked up a lot of guys just trying to keep open that cap space, but they aren't going to be able to spend half the cap on one guy. So I think that's going to be kind of a two weak teams to look out for, but they might make a good strong comeback into the season like Boston did last year. And as for strong teams, I actually want to say Boston and the Islanders. The Islanders did a smart thing and brought back 3 of Boston's players from last year, and everybody knows how they made the playoffs the last game after they went on that bit of a hot streak. So those 3 players might be able to help them make a good run for it. And they also got a good player. It's Evan Dangles. I've actually seen that guy play sometimes, and he can do really great things with the puck, and same with Timonen, 44. And as for Boston, they have some really strong players returning from last year, such as Casey, Malfoy, and Gabriel Stryker. But they also have Cross, who is an amazing goalie as an AGM. But Vince Hannigan, Gladiator, solid left wings as owner and GM. And they also did some pretty good drafting, so I say those are 2 teams to look out for.
I think that weak teams would be the teams that started out like a new team today, like such as Montreal, Washington, Vancouver, and Blackhawks. Just because they didn't scout as much as such as Pittsburgh or the Sharks. And a strong team would be, I'd say, Islanders, and not to be like going for my team or anything, but Wild, I guess.
All right, TF.
Because we got pretty much everything covered, in my opinion, and yeah.
2 teams in the West, I'd say one's Minnesota, because they seem to draft well. With their goalies they already had set, they could expand from there. Another team is Phoenix. Phoenix, they seem to have a good offense. I want to see who they're getting in bidding and free agency, and if they're making any trades, who they're getting on defense to round out their team, because they have 1 defensive pairing in total on their team. They've got B. Cripps as well. Another team that drafted well, I want to say, is St. Louis. They picked up, I'd say they had a very well-rounded draft. Draft King, Morzov, I want to see, because I've seen him in scouting games, MVP, and their team just looks, to me, one of the more better rounded out teams. In the East, I'd say Boston seemed to draft well. They again, kind of like St. Louis, they rounded out their team. Toronto, they did get some offense, original 6. Pittsburgh seemed to draft well. Cron, I think they knew what they were doing the most of all because they were there every day. I'd say weaker teams. I'd say one would be Philadelphia, mainly due to I didn't see them at all really during the scouting. Another team could be Montreal, but they did draft. I think they drafted pretty well, but it depends on how they use them. Tampa Bay could be another weak team.
Tooting your own horn again.
Here's my sleeper pick for a good draft. I'd say Detroit because they picked up a pretty good defenseman in the first round. But
I'm keeping that in. Don't you worry. All right, Bruins fan.
Oh yay!
Well, if you're thinking about teams that are gonna, maybe get beaten up a little bit, what team jumps out at me first in the Eastern Conference would be the New York Islanders. If they play as the team that the 3 players that they drafted, if they play like they did with Boston last year, it's going to be a struggle for them all season to get into the playoffs. And if you look at the West, the team that's probably going to get beat up a lot the same way as San Jose. I mean, they're just going to be the punching bag of the West. If I'm stealing somebody's line, I'm stealing somebody's line. They're going to be the punching bag, and they're not going to perform really well. But if we're talking about good teams, I see Phoenix going a long way, as long as they can pick up some good players in the free agency. And then in the East, I'd say I'm going to have to agree with a lot of people. Boston is going to go a long way. They did a great job in the draft, and they're just going to do great.
1 second. With what we know now, who do you guys see going to the Stanley Cup Finals for this season and winning? We'll start with TF this time.
I gotta go with St. Louis from the West. I like how they drafted the guys who had already, like Fortese in Life as We Know It, and then they still had Dirk, New Time Sunday, and Mr. LOL-tastic and management. I could see them going deep into the playoffs. I could see them maybe as the next Toronto of the season. Maybe not. Maybe they'll be like an Anaheim or maybe a Philly. In the East, I want to say, what my page loaded? I'd say Boston. Boston or Toronto, maybe New York. Rangers. Not Islanders. Well, maybe Islanders. But top teams would probably be Boston,
did you not
Toronto, maybe Pittsburgh.
Understand the question?
Also.
Yeah, I said, which team do you think is going to win the Cup, and who do you think is going to go to the finals?
Fuck, wait. Did I hear it wrong?
Listen, say who you think will win the Cup.
Yep, right into the blooper reel.
I heard it wrong. I heard it wrong, my bad. This is going in the bloopers, isn't it?
God.
And who do you think is going to win? Oh, bold. All right.
Fine. Boston and St. Louis. St. Louis and 6.
I'm gonna say it's gonna be Bruins, Phoenix, and Phoenix is gonna win in 5.
I think that I'm gonna take a long shot here. And from the East, I'm actually gonna say New York's gonna make it to the
New
Cup
York
final.
Islanders or New York Rangers?
And from the West, I think it's actually gonna be Minnesota. Another my team that I'm on, but I really think that they're gonna do it. New York Islanders.
If you're going to press me for 2 names in the finals, I'd go with Pittsburgh and St. Louis. And not Boston. I think Boston has some defensive issues, actually. They've got B-Nut, who I've played with before, and they've got Malfoy and Gabriel Stryker. I think Malfoy is probably the strongest out of that defensive core. Gabriel Stryker and B-Nut often have bad negative plus minuses. I don't see Boston in it in the end.
I'll just...
from the East, I see Boston going all the way. I really do. I think it's going to be hard fought, but they're going to go all the way. And then on the West, here come the bias chance, but I see my team, Minnesota, going all the way. I mean, I feel we have all the needs plugged. I mean, the goaltending's great. The defense is going to get better. We have a secret weapon on our team, and it can't get. We can go worse, but I don't think we can get any better.
I'm hoping the secret weapon has something to do with commissioner-assisted playing.
What's the secret weapon?
You know who it is. Oh no, it has to do with
the secret weapon is
just to put that.
All right.
Last night, my owner of Minnesota asked me if I could even remove a player from his roster,
Rain,
and I said no. Go talk to the commissioner, Pat.
No, it was KSI Nova. KSI Nova quit. KSI Nova quit, and I needed him off the team. Secret weapon is
The East team I think is gonna make it to the playoffs is either Toronto or Pittsburgh, because Pittsburgh, they did pretty well in the draft in my opinion, and from the West side I think who's gonna win? I think it's gonna be either Minnesota or St. Louis, because both did pretty well in the draft. And
pre-draft, you guys look terrible.
I love all the love we're getting in Minnesota.
No, it did work out. I'm happy for you guys.
I know. I was told. I listened to the podcast. I know we look terrible.
But I'm going to cut out
2 goalies in the center. Who wants that? But it worked out in the end.
So what players in the free agent pool do you guys think that we should be bidding on that are still available?
Okay, let's see. Let's go to the free agency pool. Let's take a look at centers. You got a few $1 million players out there. I don't think that there's a lot of known quality players out there. There's probably some hidden players out there that a lot of people don't know about. Let's see, I'm looking at left wings. I mean, there's really no one with a big salary left. I even see, let's see, Goodchild. I think he just got snatched up today in bidding. On defense, it's getting pretty slim pickings on defense, though. I'm looking at 6 right defensemen left on the free agent list. So, if I were an owner, I would be definitely looking at how many defensemen I have, and if you don't have 4 defensemen by now, you should be looking to get one. Goalies, I think there's still a few good goalies out there. I see like 4 different $4 million goalies, 5 different ones. So, not much time left. People are bidding and snatching them up.
Well, I'm going to go with King on this one, yeah. Really, the only big missings that I think people made were on the goalies. I mean, there's really nobody left that we can talk about in free agency. I mean, maybe we can talk about how people didn't pick... Oh, wait, Wiles got picked up, never mind. Maybe we could talk about how nobody picked up Blocker side. I mean, he's an average goalie, but any team could use an average goalie to plug a hole, maybe get 1 a week. But that's about it.
Alright, there's no one I can really say special on the free agency list, because everyone deserves a chance. Now, the thing is, it's just based on, like, how you, like, some guys weren't chosen because of how they play and stuff like that. You know, because, like, you know, how their attitude is, but I'm saying that there's really no one special on here that you can really talk about.
There are some people that I have seen play last season that I am actually kind of shocked that they did not get picked up. Starting with PXT Swags, I played against him a few times last season, and he had a pretty solid, good couple games. So I thought for sure he would have been one of the people to get picked up, but it turns out that he didn't. But really, there is a few forwards I could go over, such as Datsu. He played a few games with me in club last year, and he did pretty good. But one person I want to talk about on right wing is Armageddon. He is a very good player, but a lot of people say that they don't like his attitude or something like that. I thought I heard that once or twice from some people. But I'd say do the smart thing and at least give him a shot. And if he really does start to have a bit of an attitude or something, then you would release him. But at least you'd have a chance to see if he's worth it or not. Because I heard he is actually a very good player. And like King said about the goalies, there is still some pretty good goalies out there. So I'm expecting them to get snatched up as some teams only have 2 goalies.
And I'll just move on to Rain, and then we'll get back to you.
Yeah. There is not that much known players, but there's some skill hidden in these free agency lists. And I want to talk about left D, Ice Smokes Rocks. I played with him last season, and he's stellar D. he doesn't let any
Alright. Now can you go TF?
forwards get into the zone,
Alright.
and just keeps them out. And yeah,
I'd say some goalies that are out there, guys that I know, some for worse reasons than ours. Hilton, I remember hearing his name around a lot. He sounded like he was decent. There's still some decent defense out there. I'm not gonna point names or give names. Fuck. Right, there's a lot of forwards. There are like crazy
Way
names.
more
It was
forwards
good.
than defense.
Yeah. Okay, well, don't have to worry about forwards. Just get the defense and goalies while they're still out there, because I know a lot of people who, if you ask a forward to play defense, even though their secondary is defense, they won't want to play defense.
True.
You gotta hope that you get guys that are willing to work with you. If you do get like defense, like that primary forward, secondary defense, you gotta hope they work with you. Otherwise,
Another
just
question turns into words
look
of
for
advice
someone
for
to
TF.
play defense or play defense yourself. If you're playing for the team,
Nothing.
take one for the
Just,
team.
I think it's funny that
You're
you
the
just
owner
went from
of it.
answering a question to giving out advice.
Okay, you know what? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not gonna put this in the food.
Oh, it's insane.
I don't know. I am
Alright.
calling next to my
Okay,
ear.
so,
Fuck you guys.
So the other day, Glassslide decided to have an episode. What do you guys think of Glassslide's episode?
I did not know about his episode, so I actually did not know about that.
I think after not getting drafted in the draft, he developed what King would call PTSD. And he went crazy because nobody picked him up. And I mean, if he's listening to this, he'll know why right now. Nobody picked you up because you quit on your team three-quarters of the way through the playoffs. Why would anybody want you on your team?
Alright, Ray,
all.
what do you think about it?
Is there anywhere where I could see his episode?
No, King took him down because
Alright,
Buzz-
TF?
he's a buzzkill. Taking a Game Boy.
I honestly didn't see it at all either.
I'll say he was nice to my team. I liked what he said about my team, But I saw the other stuff. I know he kind of went all, it's Brennan 93. I don't know if any of you guys remember him. But I do. I remember his little episode, and it was just like that. He attacked other teams, very offensive. The way I think one of the teams was Minnesota. He said something about them? It was like a paragraph long or something.
I don't fucking end him.
You want me to tell you? I'll tell you. Oh well, I have it copied and pasted.
Oh, send it to me. That way I could actually be in
Here
on
we
this
go.
conversation.
Oh no, I don't have it copy and pasted anymore. I deleted it earlier.
Oh,
What he said was, I remember most of it. He said that idiot Bruins fan drafted. That idiot Bruins fan wants to get Pat on his team now, so him and Strudel can go have incest. Run with me 609 can go sit in the corner and play with himself while watching King get paid by watching the two Frenchies make a KHP sandwich.
What's so bad about that?
There was a lot more, Shiny. There was a
all
lot
he said
more.
about...
that was just one team.
No,
For
he
us,
just
he
said
said,
hashtag Tojo.
I think
I don't get
Henrik
it.
drafted pretty well. That's what I remember. He liked how Henrik drafted. I don't know. I don't know why he didn't.
Weaver
he
knows
said
what
something
Tojo
about
means,
San Jose.
And
It
so
was-
does Glass and
What does Tojo
I
mean?
think
Yeah.
Longton.
Yeah, wait. Can we get like a topic here? Like, what
Longton
Tojo
also
mean?
knows. So, I mean, I'm sure
Yeah,
it's a collaborative unit if we can just extract the information from them.
Oh, let's go ask Glass. He seems like a nice guy. He'll tell us.
That was a weird skip.
Tojo suck is Tojo.
One of our...
How about if one of our teams wins the Stanley Cup? I really want to know. I heard it was like Sushi from Vancouver, but I don't know where. Like someone Googled
anyways,
it.
Weigel, what do you
I
think
just
about
googled
last
it and it
night's
says
episode?
Tojo is Japanese slang for execution for war crimes or something like that.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
He went off. He literally went like post-traumatic stress syndrome. Posted a long
Do you think you
list
can
of
explain a little more, like
just
what happened,
random
so I can
insults and
this is
shit
like
about
hard.
everybody.
Like I'm not even sure what happened. Like, do you think you can explain it?
Except Detroit.
Not Detroit.
Freddie,
Well,
he
this
talked
is
a bunch of crap about the New York Islanders, like I said.
this happens all the time in leagues. It's happened to War Machine. He's done something like that. You just gotta deal with it.
Yeah, but he went off after not getting selected to the All-Star team. This guy went off because he wasn't drafted.
It's not KSI.
Sorry.
War Machine was mad that about everything, but this is what happens. If someone does that, like I don't know what they're thinking in their mind when they do this, because they don't know. Like I don't know what's going on in their head at that time whenever they think of that, because all it's going to do is make everything worse than it has to be.
Episode.
I mean, just say to someone, look, I didn't get drafted. Can you think what's going to happen next? Do I get baited on or something? See, this guy, like, that's what you don't do.
Glass slide. What a disappointment. He was our Stanley Cup owner, and this is how he chooses to go out instead of just quitting the league. Some people like to just walk away. Some people want to go out in a blaze of glory. Or shame.
I was going to say.
I think season 1 I was calling people who did this suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder. This season I'm going with suicide by cop. You pull a gun on a cop, you're going to get shot to death. He started posting stuff. It's squawking all over the website.
Well, people insult each other all the time.
Like warning,
kind of
and then he
the way
posted
this
that
thing is.
post, and that was it. I'd had enough. You can't insult the SHL on the site. You can't insult other players on the site. Plain and simple.
It's when you
Yeah,
type
we're
out.
all assholes to each other.
Chirping in the chat box is one thing, but posting something that everyone can see is going too far. Everyone uses their temporal files and something that they didn't mean to say, but you can't post something permanent that insults everyone.
King, I just saw this thing on the blacklist, suicide by cop.
Yeah.
You have it on there?
Yeah.
I've seen it. I've seen it. Oh god. You best league ever.
Here. That's like...
I briefly considered pulling a Lance Armstrong on him and making him give back all his awards.
Oh.
You can give it to me.
All right.
We just replace his name on the awards list and just put X's.
Last topic.
Where the
You guys gotta go with for last topic.
Talk to Oprah.
Oh god.
With the NHL season back, do you guys think that that's going to affect the availabilities of your players, make them more inconsistent and whatnot? Or do you think everything's going to remain the same?
Bruins fan. Bruins fan.
Thank God.
Yay! I raised my hand at war. Anyway, yeah, I think it's gonna. I mean, we play at 7 o'clock and 8 o'clock, and I mean, on the East Coast here, the Bruins games air at 7:30. But, I mean, most games start, if you're on the East, at 7:30 usually, unless it's a weekend. So, I mean, Monday through Thursday, we're probably gonna have some problems, yeah. People are probably gonna change their availability up because of that, but besides, I mean, when their teams aren't playing, I'm probably sure that they're gonna be able to play, but they might change it up because of the teams. You never know.
That's actually going to be varying from player to player, I think, because some people have season tickets and they'll be going to all the home games. So I think it will mess up those people will be changing their availability because they already spent all the money on all those tickets. But there's also two types of people who watch a game at home. There's the extremely diehard fans who say they have to watch a game from the first second to the last second, otherwise they are not able to watch the game. Or there's the people who could turn it on halfway through and still enjoy it. And I think there's like that group of fans who has to watch a game from exactly start to finish. It will mess up their availability, but I think there's actually more people who will be fine with just tuning into the game 5 minutes already in. That way they'll be able to play.
I don't think it is because that's why you post your availabilities, and people have their different teams, and the teams don't play all at once, I believe, and yeah.
Well, like Ghost Style says, it varies. Like, I'm a season ticket holder, and coming from me, if it means I have to miss this, if I have to miss a league game, I'm not gonna do that. Because, I can go anytime if I'm a season ticket holder, but some people, they're just like, it's kind of like people with club too. We've had a couple instances where, we've had people that are doing club and they can't do, like, we need a goalie, say, and, they're doing club and they say they can't join us for a league game, and that just gives us a forfeit loss. Like, it's just like that. So, it might, like, it depends on how these guys act. So, like, if you see, like, it's just, if they're season tickets or not, it depends on, like, what kind of team they like. Like, you should be going to the game, like, to league games since you signed up for it instead of watching the game.
But just saying, if it's Leaf season tickets, just don't even go to the games. You're wasting your time.
Weigel,
Yep.
are you smoking crack?
Oh, he went there. He knows your secret.
What what type of season ticket holder that is a diehard fan is going to say, I'm going to put my Xbox over the thousands of dollars I spend on season tickets? Not many people.
Can I interject here, Nick? It's like a 48 game season. Season tickets don't cost thousands of dollars. And for the amount, like, you buy season tickets, you're actually saving money if you're to buy each game tickets individually. So just buy the season tickets, and if you aren't going to go to the game, sell the tickets for profit. It's that simple.
Well, can I buy the tickets if I'm not going to go to the game, though? I mean, that makes no sense to me.
I signed up for a league. Like, I can't just miss games because of this. Like, you have to show up for the games. Maybe watch it after, maybe go to a game once in a while, but you can't do it like that. Like, crazy. Like, season ticket holders aren't going to go to every single game.
I know I wouldn't.
I do.
Agreed.
I'd get
But
tired of
I'm
seeing
an
my team
owner
either
now.
win by one goal or lose by one goal all the time. I actually want to watch the game and
King.
hear
I
commentary
used
from
to,
the
but now I'm an owner,
broadcasters.
so I mean, I
I'm
guess
on King to respond now.
I'll waste the money.
You're outnumbered.
Second to
Nick.
last.
Give up.
I know.
The question is,
I
do you
quit.
think the fact that
The
the
white
NHL season being actually back
Uncle.
is going to
What?
affect player availability and player dedication to
Oh my
teams?
god, I'm last. Repeat the question.
Yeah, I'm last. All in.
I think that, a video game hockey league isn't the biggest priority. People often have to put their family first, their job first. Or if you're a season ticket holder, I'd understand that. I'd go to the game. But what you shouldn't do is wait till the last minute. You've got these tickets. You know when your team is playing. Just so you can't play those nights. It's that simple. I guess I'd like to say to everyone in the SHL is make your availabilities, to what you can actually play. A lot of people will say, oh, I can play every
TF?
game in a week, and then they end up, actually being available for less than half. That frequently happens. Glad I don't have to deal with it this season. I'm not an owner.
Oh yeah, thanks.
Same here. If you bought the tickets, like, if you buy season tickets, like, don't just sit there and let them waste away, I guess, but at least tell your owner, like King was saying, tell your owner or management that you're not going to be there. Don't do what a lot of people did last season and just, like, not show up. Good. Like, there were a few times when, hell, I almost got fired because one day I didn't show up. Hoping, last time I relied on my manager, well, until Calypso got there, but, what?
I'd fire your ass if you were my GM and you didn't show up. You didn't tell me.
One, I was the owner. I was the owner one day. The entire, like, season, I was there. One day that I missed, I was hoping Dugan would get on, at least, like, try. Calypso almost got both the games together. And, like, I don't mean to kind of sound like I'm kissing your ass, but Calypso, you, like, did a lot for Buffalo. Like, I will admit, if you didn't come along, we probably would have ended up like the Rangers of last season.
I want to point out I was just a player until and when TF went missing.
What team? There wasn't even a Winnipeg last year after like the halfway point.
Randomly just
they barely existed.
Decided, hey, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try and do this, and that's it. The rest is history.
Wait, what was the original question?
The original question. You've already done the original question. Just go. We're done. This is we're gonna do it. We're gonna do the outro.
Original question again.
We got plenty of time of stuff.
You always get off topic.
Oh.
Outro. Come on.
Do I think it's going to change? Yes. I think availabilities are going to be
play some music in the background.
Terrible.
I want to ask you one
season.
question.
Because a lot of people are going to want to watch their games.
Because
they're going to forget to tell their owners that they're watching their games instead of actually following through with their responsibilities. I think it's going to be horrible all across the board. Without a doubt, people are just going to watch the games or go to the games, not say anything to the owners, and it's not any other fault than it's just the fact that people are forgetful. People forget to say these things. They forget to go onto the website. People aren't as active as they should be, and that's my opinion. People need to be getting on the website. People need to be going on, being involved, be part of the league. Don't just kind of passively go to it every once in a while. We post everything on the website for a reason. Last season, I had to go on Xbox and send each and every one of my players their schedules because nobody had enough effort to get on the website and check the damn schedule when I posted it. From what I've seen so far.
Actually, yes. Who do you think is going to win the cup?
And New Jersey
and who do you think is going to make it to the final?
Are going to be two of the strongest teams on their respective sides. But I'm not sure if they're going to have the depth to make it the whole way. So, as it stands, those are my picks, is New Jersey from the East and St. Louis from the West. And I see St. Louis outbeating New Jersey in 7 games.
Not a bad prediction.
Right. I actually have one question for King.
Sure.
So, KingHockeyPuck, how do you think this league is going to end up? Do you think it's going to be a positive way? Because I like how this league's going right now with, like, a lot of people joining. How do you think the league is going to continue?
There's a lot of uncertainty this year. Don't know what's going to happen. If they come out with a new Xbox system, that could drastically affect the league and make us shrink, actually. So, yes. I'm looking for season 3. I guarantee you will grow again this summer, probably up to 24, maybe even 26 teams. But right on the verge of hitting 30, the new Xbox is going to come out, and we'll probably have to shrink back down to 12 or 14.
Yep. Yeah, King, I heard that actually that the new Xbox is delayed till summer next year.
I hope so.
So that'll give us some time.
I'm not buying a new one.
Hell, I am.
I spent $400 on the thing.
A PS3, Xbox, gaming computer, and I'm going to get the new console.
Yeah, shut up.
Right now, Sony and Microsoft are kind of playing a little chess game. Neither one of them wants to reveal when they're actually going to release new systems. Yeah. They're going to have to announce it one way or the other at
E3.
E3 this summer. I think that's in June. If they don't announce it, it ain't coming out in winter.
Yeah, PS3. I heard it's set for this winter, and they're going to announce it at E3.
This is an Xbox league, so it doesn't matter about that.
They're both keeping a tight lip on the actual release date right now.
And that's not the only
speculation,
I doubt that.
There's more consoles coming out.
I would prefer if Xbox stayed
because Sony's PS4 apparently is going to be a charged service, while Xbox is going to become free. That's just what I read online.
Save money.
I like paying for it.
No, like the next console. That's just what I read online.
It rolled over with Xbox to 360, so it should roll
security
over.
And that's what we pay.
Your current 360 membership should roll over into the new system. If they don't, that'll be very upsetting.
Yeah, but it's
I've got a 2-year subscription. Oh, did it? I hope so.
Yeah. I'm guessing that if they do
I
try to make
don't- I'd
Xbox
still
Live free, it'll
buy.
be kind of like the
Well, I
PlayStation
don't
Plus
care.
thing that they have right now. It's like a premium thing.
All right,
It's
so
like Xbox
that,
Silver, so they could still talk to people,
that's
they
the
could still
close.
play games.
So
Just you can't do some of the things
everybody
that
gets one
premium
last
would
thing
be
that
able
anyone
to do.
say.
Like they
So
just free up Silver
just
a
go
little
around
bit.
the table and everybody can say their goodbyes for this week.
Oh yeah.
So
I'd rather
yeah.
double features.
we'll start with TF.
Well, have a good week. Next week it'll be talk about the start of the season.
All right, Styles.
Hopefully we find out who's gonna sink or swim. This week, see who's gonna be starting. You never know. This is, I don't know. It's Xbox.
Bruins fan.
See you guys. Next week we'll probably see if Bruins pretty much went suicide with this team by taking me 3rd overall in the regular draft.
I am going to audio edit a gunshot in there.
Good luck, all you guys, in the draft, and I'll see you guys.
I'll give you a suicide. Anyway.
Suicide.
Good.
No, honestly. I
I'll
told
see
him
you
to-
guys next week, and maybe next week, if you'll let me, I'll talk about the possibility of the biggest hits and misses of the off season. And everybody have a good weekend. I'll see you next week. Dun dun dun.
The hell was that?
One thing I'd just like to say to all you SHLers is use your locker rooms, post your availabilities, and to all you owners, help the SHL weed out the people who aren't serious about playing hockey. And
That was him
we
being
should
the old man from Family Guy.
have a good season, better than last season.
Do you
Looking
want
forward to
some
season 3 too.
popsicles?
See y'all later. Tune in next week.
Hell was that?
Herbert. Dude,
God.
All right. No, I still don't have music.
You guys ready
Alright,
for
so-
Consuela?
That was a face-off circle. I was your host, Dark Calypso.
oh my god.
My guests have already said goodbye.
That is
For
epic.
future episodes,
Did I play the outgoing music?
just stay tuned. I'm doing this weekly until you guys eventually yell at me and tell me to stop wasting my time. Rain is joined by my team as my post-productions. He'll be helping me with adding video stuff. So if you listen to this in complete audio format, feel free to go back and take a look at some of the things that he put up. Most of them will just be players' names and their stats, as well as teams' information. Just things for you guys to get some raw data of. If you have any questions about the cast, feel free to send me a message on the website. If you want to be a guest on the show, again, feel free to send me a message on the website. If you want to send any content in for me, like from games that you're playing in the preseason, you guys want to show me some of your highlights, some of your sick moves, email me at supremehockeyleaguexbl@gmail.com. Thank you for listening. See you next time.